What's going on, YouTube? Let's talk about a few things. I was in somebody else's live stream tonight, and I was asked the question, do you ever stop stacking silver to buy gold? And I simply answered, I never stop stacking silver. Now, if I want to save up for some gold, which I'm going to be doing pretty soon since the price has gone down some, and I think there's potential for it to go back up before too long. In those certain instances, I will slow my buying, but I sat back and I thought about it. Monday, I bought 4 ounces at the LCS. That was in the last video. I had 6 more ounces come in that never made it on a video because they went to a trade, toward a trade I'm doing with somebody. I'm doing a 9-ounce trade, and I was 6 short of the particular rounds that needed to go in the pack, so those 6 went out the door. That's why that's 10 right there. 19 showed up today. That's 29. I mean, a good week. And I told him, I said, I stack pretty much anywhere between 10 and 40 ounces in a given week. I'd say between 10 and 20 is generally my overall average. That's just one of my personal goals. This week obviously has been pretty fair. Almost 30, I think. What was it? It was 6, 10, and 19. Yeah, 29 ounces. And I may have forgotten something somewhere. It's not bad. I keep plugging away. I keep stacking away. I keep spending less cash so I can do that. Speaking of spending less cash, this whole debt ceiling thing, it's in the news. Kids at work are asking me about it. I'm not a financial advisor, and do your own research, form your own opinions. I'm going to give you my opinion. I'm going to give you my forecast. I don't do that a lot on this channel, but I'm going to do that because I think this whole thing's ridiculous. JP Morgan Chase, probably the least trusted bank out there as far as I'm concerned, and I don't trust a lot of it, but I hate that bank. Came out and said recently they think there's a 25% chance the U.S. will default on its debts. Nope. Disagree wholeheartely. They're going to play this game, which is why they just extended the date today. Today is the 27th. Nope. Today is the 27th. It's just turned the 27th. It was the 26th. News broke that I saw that they extended the deadline. Why? Well, because they're going to play this political game, right versus left, when they all know that they're not going to allow the debt ceiling or the debt to not be, I don't want to say paid because they're not going to pay it. They're not going to allow it to default. And it's for a multitude of reasons. They know if that happens, that could actually, even though the stock market has zero to do with the economy, it reacts to interest rates, right? It reacts to what the Fed does, what they think the Fed's going to do. It's very reactive to that. So if a default occurs, the interest on the debt goes way higher because it's not getting paid. It's not, payments aren't being made. So they're not going to let that happen. Mortgage rates would go through the roof. Car loans, everything. And there's another reason that they can't let it happen. And see, they know this, and they're going to put it out in the news. Oh, we're having negotiations, and we're having problems negotiating from this side and that side. Give me a break. They are not going to let that happen. Now, is it good that we're raising the debt ceiling? Again, this is just what I forecast is going to happen. No, because it's kicking the can down the road. It's putting a Band-Aid on something that really needs to be solved. You and I live in a budget. We live within a budget because we have to. The government needs to learn to live within a budget. And if they defaulted, it would be very, very painful for a year or two. And if they got out of our way, it would be okay. But see, government never does that. So they can't let it default. Our monetary system is based on more debt being introduced in the system. If you take the debt away, it ceases to exist. Our monetary system will not work. Debt creates currency, believe it or not. And here's another reason that they simply can't let it default. Y'all know what's happening in late August? Anybody? Anybody know what's happening? Give you hints. In Africa this year. That's right, the 2023 BRICS Summit. These nations that are growing want off of our dollar so bad. At least they don't want to be pegged to only our dollar. They probably want to be done with it. But if our dollar defaults, if we default on our debts, that's one more reason for them to completely depeg themselves from our dollar in trade. And as inept as some of our leadership is, they know that. And they know that if that happens, it's over for them too, in a lot of ways. That would be detrimental to them on a personal level. And that's all they care about. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They don't care about how we're living. They care about their quality of life. They care about their portfolio. And that would dramatically affect that, now wouldn't it? We talked about gold a little bit earlier. Also, what do the BRICS nations love? Right there. They love gold. I think it's a great time to add gold to the portfolio. At least for me, that's what I'm going to be doing here coming up. And if one can afford it, I think it's great. I think silver is also phenomenal to add to the portfolio. Why? Because where gold goes, silver usually follows. It just usually takes a little bit longer. And I think gold has a really, really good future. When they raise the debt ceiling, and I wholeheartedly believe they will. That's what they've done this whole time. They're going to continue to do it, in my opinion, as long as they can get away with it. It's going to have a lot of the same effects that defaulting would have, just on a smaller scale, right? So here's what we can expect. We can expect more currency inflation and creation. We can expect higher rates from the Fed, probably. We can expect higher rates to borrow money. We can expect, the dollar index is getting stronger. That's another reason they can't default, because then that whole thing blows up in their face. This crap they sell us of, the dollar index is getting stronger, even though it takes more of them to buy everything. Oh, okay, so the dollar's getting stronger, but inflation is getting higher. That, if you think about it, really, it's pretty asinine. But that whole lie, that whole narrative would completely erode if we defaulted on our debt. And they know it. So I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think we have anything new to worry about. It's going to be more of the same. Higher inflation, higher, more currency creation, most likely, at some point. It's just not going to be good. So that's my take. I could be completely wrong. They could surprise me. I doubt it. But who knows? It wouldn't be the first time I was wrong. Check these bad boys out. I got these specifically to make my good friend Silver and Cigars jealous. We were actually on the phone, and we were looking at those. He's like, "Oh man, those are sick." And I'm like, "Well, what is?" And he told me, and I looked him up. I'm like, "All right, we're gonna buy 7 of those, just to make him jealous." So we did. These things are cool, man. Love them. Love these Indian incense pieces too. Sweet. That's going to wrap it up, guys. Like the video, subscribe, comment, share the video, show the love. I am not a financial advisor. I don't have a crystal ball. This is just what I think, my opinion. You do what you got to do. You do what's right for you. Let's make good choices, prepare the best we can. I might be right, I might be wrong, but I'm going to tell you, keep stacking.